Welcome back to Let's Play Craz'D. Something I wanted to note. For all of my, sorry, I picked up the hiccups apparently. For all of my criticisms or critiques on the design here, I'm not saying it's a bad game, and I'm in no way trying to say anything against the person that made the game. Trying to think how to word it. Well, one, he was 13, and two, this was a learning process. I'm not saying that it was a bad job or anything. I guess I'd say I'm aiming at... I was going to call it constructive criticism, but, I mean, it's not really aimed at the game's creator. It's just my personal thoughts on some of the mechanics. Because, yeah, I mean, this game was made quite a few years ago, and I'm sure he's learned a lot since then. And, everybody has different views on what good game mechanics are, so... While I enjoy platformers, I don't often enjoy the, platformers designed just to be inordinately difficult. You know, without good reason. It's the reason that I don't really enjoy games like I Want to Be the Guy or Cat Mario. Both games I love watching somebody else play, but not really something I want to. I might play it, but it would be difficult to do a Let's Play of it because the game is designed around difficulty and would likely just be frustrating at times. I have not seen more than, like, the first few rooms of I Want to Be the Guy, though, so it might be different than I'm imagining throughout the rest of its game. And I mention it because it's often kind of a well-known example of the game made to be difficult idea. I don't like that he fired a shot while in his vulnerable stage. Yeah, but we've established that I've figured out enough of a pattern to the boss here that I see you standing there in the spikes. You can stand there all you want. We've established enough of a pattern in the boss here that I'm able to stand a chance. It still is going to be a matter of just kind of bashing my head against it until it gives way, though. But such is boss fights in most games. You just kind of keep throwing yourself at them until you win. Can't really say most games. Depends on the game, depends on the boss, and there's one of those things standing there. You know, case in point again, Dark Souls. There are some bosses that, depending on your character, of course, were just an ordeal of bashing your head against a wall until certain random things aligned themselves properly. A famous example there is sorcery characters trying to fight the Capra Demon. Let's just say being a character who can be one-hit killed and being put in a small boss room with a large enemy that has large reach and that will 9 times out of 10 get at least one hit on you when you enter the room, it's a very frustrating time. Not to mention the doges. But, you know, not critiquing Dark Souls here. I really enjoyed that playthrough. And I will leave more discussion of that to the Dark Souls players. Such as my cousin who has a Let's Play of Dark Souls up. Inexplicable enemy. I'm just gonna start calling them inexplicable enemies. Inexplicable flying bananas. Inexplicable punctuation marks. Mark. I forgot they get one shot off before they teleport. Haha. Haha. Oh! Touche. Oh, crud! Afraid that one was gonna hit me. Don't shoot. Whew. Oh. Randokovariko. It's one of those times where I again find that really annoying right there. I would have recommended, again, either taking away the microphone's ability to shield entirely so that the player never gets aggravated by losing it, or making it so that you can use it everywhere, but make it so late game it only absorbs one shot. I mean, I get where having like 5 to 10 seconds of pure invincibility could be a bit game-breaking and make it difficult to make hard bosses, but just taking it away entirely instead of like scaling it through the game really comes out a bit awkward there. Just checking through here real quick. Even more asylum. Yeah, I was just making sure there wasn't any kind of, Really? Any more miscellaneous upgrades that might have been beneficial to my cause? Oh, well, hello there. Free hit. Oh. As long as I keep my timing up. I wonder if I aim at just one of them consistently, if I can defeat them and only have to deal with the other one. Which, in that case, I think aiming for the question mark would be beneficial, because it's the one that appears over my head. And the exclamation point could free me up to just run left and right and not really worry with dodging at all. We'll find out. Oh! No. I survived long enough to hit it 3 times. Sorry I keep sniffling a little. I just had some very spicy food. I jarred fresh jalapenos recently and have been experimenting with combining it with various foods. So delicious. There's also the slight annoyance, impatience there. There's also the slight annoyance value just in the trek back to the boss each time, which I've mentioned countless times and should probably shut up about. This room right here, I don't like. Well, that's one slight complaint mechanic-wise. You don't change your direction you're aiming until you change the direction your momentum is facing you. That almost messed up. That can make changing the direction of your shots sometimes a little bit troublesome. I see you hiding in the grass over there. But I forgot where I was going with that statement. Bark. No! I'm going to aim at the question mark and see if there's something that happens if I hit the same one multiple times in a row. It's just going to kill me. We know each one can take at least a shot. I mean, take at least 2 shots, because I've hit the exclamation point twice in a row and not come out with any kind of benefit. That was actually not a suicide, that was a total accident. I was slightly frustrated that I hit the wrong one, but that was actually an accident. I mean, I'll take that one. That one was all on me. I got thrown off balance when I hit the wrong one, and then just... One of the things was in the grass. I took damage, was trying to restart from save point, hit quit again. I feel like this is going to be a bit of a thing that happens a lot right now. I'm talking loud to get over that weird bit at the start. You know something I do notice about the loading screen of the game? That little loading bar that goes across. You know how most loading bars are actually loading something? If you click off the window, like if the window loses focus, it just freezes. That loading bar freezes too, and will sit there endlessly until you give the window focus again. That tells me it's not really loading anything, and that's just an animation that's playing and sucking up time for no explicable reason. I just happened to notice that a while back during one of my accidental quit game mishaps. That seems to just be an animation put there to load. I mean, to look like it's loading. Perhaps he was learning how loading bars work and he simulated one. There we go. Oh crap. Aha! Aha! Sure, why not? Again. Well, this is getting somewhat annoying. Namely, see how it just sits there until I click, and if I click off, it stops loading. Namely, the fact that it keeps quitting the game when I don't want it to is far more annoying than the boss could ever be. Because I've gotten into the habit of just instantly hitting spacebar and then C to restart from last save. But if it's got quit game highlighted, guess what happens? I hit the same keys and get a different result. And it appears when you die, it resets the menu. Wonder. I tried changing it, then saving, and seeing if it makes it save it then, just as a random quirk. Aha. Also, not sure yet or not, but the coins you gain might inexplicably remain even after you die or otherwise don't save. So that appears it might be stored separately. I'm not even going to question that. I'm just gonna jump every other time now. Because there's really no point. Okay, I'm gonna call that a definite design problem there. Sometimes, if you're not holding down the jump button when you bump into a boss, instead of bouncing off of them, you fall through them, and will typically take damage from that process. And that's somewhat bothersome, because you shouldn't be taking damage from attacking the boss, especially when, 3 to 4 hits is all it takes to kill you. And it's hard enough to beat the bosses without taking those hits, without being hit because of your own attack. So we are past the 15-minute point. So I'm gonna... Oh, I jumped over... Oh, never mind, that was my little jump cloud animation. Thought I jumped over one of those enemies, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here, and I will...